What's up guys, and welcome back to another Pokemon Sun and Moon coverage video, and today we are going to be looking at Alolan Forms once more, and looking at 5 Alolan Forms that I think I would really like to see. You know, sort of my top 5 I guess you could say, or just 5 that I think would be really cool to see in the games. So it's, you know, very simply we're just going to get straight on with it and jump straight in. At number 5, this is sort of ignoring all leaks, by the way, all leaks, all rumours. I'm not saying, oh yes, because that's true, they said that, I definitely want this. This is sort of just, you know, general what I would like to see. I've tried to keep it as subjective. Is it subjective or unsubjective? I don't know. As you know, unopinionated, or not unopinionated, but you know, not like looking at the rumours and saying, oh, they said that we're going to get a Water Arcanine, I'll put that at the top of the list, you know. Just sort of looking at it with a clean, fresh slate. First up, saying that though, first up, my first Pokemon is Nidoking / Nidoqueen as a poison fighting type. Yes, the rumours and the leaks have said we're apparently going to get one of these, but I would like to see it anyway. You know, it's something I've seen from Mega several times, talking about Megas for Nidoking in the past, being a poison fighting type rather than poison ground. I never really got where the ground type came from. It just sort of came out of nowhere, so they could easily change that out and have Nidoking be, you know, basically a more offensive Pokemon. Maybe you could be defensive as well, I don't know, you maybe have like a, you know, Nidoking and Nidoqueen. Nidoqueen is already a bit more defensive I think than Nidoking, so it would make sense to just sort of make that even more, you know, accentuate those. So you'd have a really sort of defensive Nidoqueen with some loads of armor on her, possibly as a poison fighter type still. And Nidoking would be more offensive with less armor but more bulky muscles. So you guys hopefully get what I mean there. I would like to see it happen because poison ground, it's always seemed to me like a sort of an anticlimactic end to the Nidoran and Nidorino line, for example, and obviously Nidoran female, etc. But I don't know, I just like to see it. You know, yes, okay, the leaks have said it's apparently going to happen. I would like to see it regardless, because it's just, I mean, I can imagine it being pretty cool, being a physical attacker with strong physical, you know, physical attack and lower special attack in sort of reverse to normal Nidoking, because then it would open up more possibilities for, you know, competitive as well. But moving on to number 4, my next choice is a Weezing, or, you know, coughing and Weezing. Of course, when you're King, you wouldn't have to change around Nidoran and Nidorino, but with a Weezing change, of course, you'd have to change around coughing as well. And obviously, you can see with the design, I would like to see a fire type based Weezing, you know, coughing and Weezing line. Either like a pure fire type, and you know, the, you know, chimney-like sort of thing, or this design was Fire Rock, I believe, taking into account, which I think would work pretty well as well. If you look at Weezing and coughing, they could easily be styled into rocks and then be, you know, magma rock sort of thing. So I felt that would be pretty cool as like a pure type of coughing. Again, there was a leak or rumor that said they were you know, apparently wouldn't get a pure coughing and a pure muck and such. But you know, regardless, I would like to see it. You know, again, my megas for coughing and Weezing, no, megas for Weezing have mentioned your poison fire. Maybe the Alolan form could be poison fire, but I feel like if they're going to do it, they might as well get rid of the poison type completely, because otherwise, you know, what is the point of just adding extra types? Yes, okay, do it for a few Alolan forms, but for at least coughing and Weezing, I think just to change it to a pure fire or a fire rock combination would work pretty well there. But we're just going to sort of keep it going, keep it rolling on. Next up, we have what I think is one of the ones I really want to see, which is Golduck as an Alolan form, and not Water Psychic as you might expect, because, you know, that's sort of the type you usually throw around for a Mega Golduck or for a Alolan Golduck. I would like to see a pure Psychic type Golduck. You know, looking at Golduck, yes, okay, it's based on a duck. You could say, yep, that's why it's a water type, but it doesn't need to be a water type. You could change the water type to, you know, something else. Yes, okay, it can still look like a duck, but it doesn't necessarily have to be a water type because of that. I can't think of any other duck-like Pokemon we have that aren't, you know, water types. Of course, we have Ducklet and Swallow, which again are water types. So, but, you know, there's no real reason for it. Yes, okay, it makes sense if you do it, but you don't need it. So I feel like a pure Psychic type Golduck would be really, you know, cool, and the story could be like maybe in the Alola region there are pockets where there's a strong psychic power which Golduck has been able to harness and, you know, transfer into pure Psychic type, for example, which would be very cool. And I think a lot more interesting than just adding on the Psychic type, because, you know, that's pretty boring. Why just add the Psychic type when you can change the Pokemon's, you know, structure completely, have it learn less water type moves, have it learn more Psychic type moves? I feel like that would be really interesting now, but that's just my opinion. Moving on then to number 2, and my second choice is, again, what a lot of you might be expecting is an Alola Dragonite being sort of a dragon water type. Something I mentioned in videos before. I feel like it would be really cool, make it look similar or more similar to Dragonair and Dratini, because obviously it completely loses its Serpentine thing. I'm not saying make it Serpentine, just to, you know, change its body around, take off the wings maybe. This is obviously a Mega Dragonite design I've shown before in videos, so maybe take the wings off of this as well, and then maybe you have, obviously it would be flying, it would be stood, but Dragon Water would be really cool, I believe. I would like to see it happen, at least. That's just my opinion now, of course. Let me know what you think down below. Feel free to let me know what you think down below. But move on to my final choice today, which is Alolan Onix. Now, why am I choosing this? Well, everyone knows about the Crystal Onix. It was an appearance in the anime, as I'm sure you know. Obviously, if you know about Crystal Onix, you're likely to know it's related to the anime. But Crystal Onix, yes, anime episode from not just the early anime, but one series of the anime in particular, which was the Orange Islands anime, because Crystal Onix lives on Sunburst Island, which is part of the Orange Archipelago, hence the Orange Islands. And it looks like the Orange Islands and Alola are going to have a lot of sort of similarities. Alola, a lot of people saying, are like the Orange Islands game because they're different. They don't quite have. Well, the Orange Islands have gyms, but they're slightly different. There's not as many of them. There's not like 8, for example. But so to link up that, as they have with, for example, Alola Executor, Long Neck appearing again, and then Pokemon. I don't want to say it's like intended foreshadowing, like when they first drew up the Executor with its long neck before, guys, in 20 years time when the game is really popular, we can use this as a new variant form. Oh, it's going to be great. I don't think they did that, it's not they did it on purpose, but they do like throwing back, Mega Gyarados was, the shape of Mega Gyarados was seen in one of the early anime episodes as well. So for them to think, wait, Orange Archipelago, we have the Crystal Onix, we now have Alola Forms of certain Pokemon, in particular Generation 1 Pokemon, why not give ourselves a Crystal Onix, or obviously it wouldn't be called a Crystal Onix, it would be called the Alolan Onix, but there'd be obvious references in the game saying, apparently the Onix is made of pure crystal, sort of thing like that. Which again, link it back, it'd be nice to throw back to the anime there. What typing would it be? Well, it could be several types, I think. It could be Ice Rock, of course, take away the ground typing, have Ice instead. That's one possibility. Or it could be Ice Steel, I suppose. Again, we have Sand Slash, which is Ice Steel in their Alola forms, so maybe not that. Or maybe it'd just be pure Ice type, who knows? The only reason I wouldn't like this, I suppose, is because we already have two sort of, lines of Ice type Pokemon that are Alola forms. It's not terrible because obviously their ice types weren't that spread out in Generation 1, so it sort of adds some ice types into Generation 1. That's one good thing about it, but I'm not sure if they want to add another ice type. So another type they could add, to think of instead of that would be like Fairy, I guess. Fairy would work well with a Crystal sort of idea, but Ice would obviously be the best sort of typing for it. But those are my 5, I guess, most wanted Alolan forms from Generation 1 particularly. Let me know down below what you would like to see have get an Alolan form from Generation 1 or any generation, down below in the comment section. If you like the video, be sure to hit the like button, but for now, this is going to be it for me for today. I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching. Goodbye, my friends.